have all lighting problems sorted out, we are going to start. Okay, so this is the beginning, obviously, and I cut my hair and all gone. So yeah, over that. Today's video comes to you in exactly 3 parts. The first part is the topic, the second part is the challenges, and the third part is ramblings of mine. Oops, my head's being cut off. There we go. Okay. So the topic is how did we find the Geminado 3. How did we find the Geminado trilogy? Wow. How did we find the Geminado trilogy? And so I was in the 7th grade, which was about 3 years ago, and I was at Barnes & Noble, and I had money to spend. Really, that's the only reason I really bought it, because I saw it on the table. It's like 4 teens or whatever, and that's the only reason I bought it, was because because I had money to spend, and there wasn't any other books that I really wanted that bad. So I got the Great and Terrible Beauty, and I read it, and I really liked it. It wasn't my favorite book yet. It was just something I read, and Rebel Angels hadn't even come out yet. And so I let some other people read it, and then like all of the girls in my class were just like obsessed with the book. And yeah, we would reread all the Kartik parts over and over and over again. And so yeah, so I finished that, and then I put it in my bookshelf. I didn't really think about it for a while, because at that point in time I wasn't really like obsessed with books. Like, I was obsessed with reading, and I read all the time, but I wasn't obsessed with like the books themselves. I just liked reading. And so that summer, that happened in like the winter of 2006. I read A Great Terrible Beauty, and then that summer, so the summer of 2006, my brother did this program at our local library where they have this like tutor person, I guess, that like helps you refresh during the summer to keep everything in your mind so that you remember it like over the summer and you don't forget it all. And it was just till 5th grade level, and so I didn't do it because I was in the 5th grade, but my brother did it. And it was at the library, and so I would go to the library like once a week, and so I was just every week, and he was only there for an hour, so sometimes I would like scan through the books and just find a book, pull it out, and start reading it, and sometimes I would put it back, sometimes I would check it out, that kind of thing. Well, just by chance, I found Rebel Angels on the shelf, and I took it out. I was like, oh yeah, this is the second book to A Great and Terrible Beauty. That's cool. I didn't even know it was out yet. And so I took it up, and I was flipping through, and I started to read it. And this is going to sound really bad, but I didn't like it very much. Like, I was like, oh, I'm kind of not going to read this. So I put it back. I read like the first few pages, and I put it back. I don't know, it's really bad of me, and I feel really bad telling you all this, but it's true. And so, put it back, and I did not think about the series at all. I reread A Great and Terrible Beauty once or twice before that, but then I didn't. And then last year, 2006, so fall of 2007, I went to high school, so I changed schools, and my friend that I made at school, I'd never met her before, we were just starting to become friends. I saw that she was reading it. I saw she had it in her backpack. I'm like, oh, I love this book. This is a really good book. And I'm glad you're reading it, and here's all these other books that you should read because I like these books and stuff. And so that's how we became friends, and now we're like best friends. But yeah, you met her last two videos ago? Yeah, that was her. Anyways, so she read that, and I was like, oh, where are you, blah, 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 like going through the book with her. And so she read that, and then she pulled Rebel Angels out, and I was like, oh, maybe I should read that. And I don't know how exactly, but I got it sometime around winter, actually around this time, and I started to read it, and I was about halfway through, because I'm actually not that fast at reading. I'm actually really slow, but I read a lot. But I just with everything, I didn't really have time, and we went down to this cabin that we rented in on a mountain so we could go and play in the snow during Christmas, and I brought it with me, and I was reading the end of it at that time, like the whole, like, just the end of it, yeah, end of Rebel Angels then, and it was in this really, like, creepy house, and the wind was blowing, and I was reading at, like, midnight every night. Oh my god, I was so terrified. Anyway, and so I, like, stayed up till, like, 3 in the morning reading it, and I finished it while I was there, and I reread it, and I was like, yes, back. So yeah, and then the sweet bar thing I just borrowed from my friend again, and that's cool. And thankfully she didn't ruin the ending for me. Okay, so that's my topic. That's how I got it into this, the Gemdo trilogy. Now, part 2, challenge. So Grace's challenge was to say who we want to cast, and there really isn't anybody that I want. I have not found anybody whatsoever that has looked like Gemma to me. Like, not even looked like her. So I don't know. I kind of, like Grace, I want somebody unknown for there. I wouldn't mind if they were known, but if they were known, they would have to be like absolutely and totally perfect for the part, and I don't think there's anybody out there, or at least that I know, that fills all of the people. I would.
But for Simon, I think Simon was his Pride and Prejudice and Penelope. I think he'd be like really fantastical for Simon. I think he would, because I don't know. I think he'd be really good. I don't think it's just leave James McAvoy in there somewhere. Like, I don't think he has to be a big part. Maybe just like some random person that you see, but he has to be in there because that gives me a reason, because I need another reason to go see the movie. But yeah, I think we should James McAvoy in somewhere. I don't care what, but I think he needs to be in there. He looks pretty. He looks young and attractive. I can't believe it.
Oh wow. Okay, so scenes. I want them all to be in there. But most specifically, I want when Gemma breaks into the chapel. Yeah. Oh, I want when the gargoyles come to life. I forget which one. I think that's in Great Deal Beauty. They're like watching her. And then I really want Felicity's ghost story to be in there. I think that would be really cool. And how I want them to start it is like this montage of what Gemma's life was before, like when she was in India, just like a typical day, just like her getting up and doing regular things with like music and stuff, not like any voices or anything, and then like a title sequence that's kind of like, if you guys have ever seen The Greatest Game Ever Played, then I kind of want it like that, only more Gemdo version of it. But if you haven't seen The Greatest Game Ever Played, you should, if you can. It's really good. It's one of my favorite like sports movies because it's golf, and it's not like watching golf, which is like watching paint dry. It is like actually really cool, and I like it a lot. And that Shia LaBeouf in it. Anyway, so that's how. And then like it'll do the title sequence, and then they'll just start with the India scene with the snake and everything. So yes. Oh, and my challenge is
I'm going to give this to Flora because Grace already answered this question, and because I don't have a guide to know. I'm trying to clear it. But this is for Grace. What kind of tree would part what kind of tree is part tree for you? Yes, that's my challenge for Flora. Okay, part 3, ramblings.
So my video, so Grace asked what we were going to decide, and so I was thinking that we should, like, maybe decide this week, but we only have, how many people? 3. We have 3 people tried out, and we could just, that'd be good. We could have somebody, we can just keep it going to find a 4th person or whatever, talk to them, but especially Rachel, because she said she wanted to be Gemma, because that was before we introduced the idea to have weekdays and all of that, so I have to go and ask her. And I'm going to see if I can contact Kate, because I haven't heard from her in a while. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say.